Good morning, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Sardi here to do your art today. This week in art, we're going to be celebrating International Dot Day. First, I'm going to read the story about the dot, and then we will make our art. So whether you're in year 2, 3, 4, 5, the message of the dot is the same. Don't be afraid to make your mark and create some art. The Dot by Peter Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. "There!" Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper toward Vashti and quietly said, "Now, sign it." Vashti thought for a moment. "Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name." The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn. Her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that." She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted, a red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow, she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many colors. "If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too." Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not making a dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, "Please, sign it." So, boys and girls at Bizac, today we're going to get creative and make our own dots to celebrate International Dot Day. Okay, boys and girls, and just like Vashti from the book, today we're going to fill our page with different dots. Today we're going to be looking at concentric circles. A concentric circle share the same axis. That means it starts with a dot in the middle and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes out. We'll also look at some color theory from last year. So for my first dot, I'm going to start with the primary colors. If you remember from last year, the primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. Primary colors means they cannot be made using any other colors. You can use whatever materials you like to do your dots. I'm going to start off by trying some pastels. So I'm going to start with a red dot in the middle. And I'm just doing the primary colors. So I will do red and go around with yellow. And that's a concentric circle. It gets bigger and bigger as it moves out from the center. So you could use markers, you could use paint, you could use color pencils, pastels, whatever you have at home. So there's a primary color concentric circle. I think I'm just going to do another layer, like a pattern, red, yellow, blue. So I'll do red. So try and keep your circles the same thickness as you go out. Red. What's next in my pattern is yellow. So it kind of looks like a target. The circle's getting bigger and bigger as we move outwards, and that's a concentric circle. Concentric circle. Can you say that at home? Concentric. What's left? Blue. Okay, so after the primary color dot, I'm going to try secondary colors. I wonder while I'm doing this, can you remember what are the secondary colors? We looked at them last year. The secondary colors are purple, orange, and green, and they are made using the primary colors. So I'm going to try another dot using the secondaries. I think I'll go for a small dot this time. So I'm going to start with purple, and then I'll do orange. And when you're doing your circles, you can do as many as you like. You can do a dot with 3 or a dot with 6, or maybe even you could do a dot with 9 or 10, whatever you feel like. Vashti in the book made loads of different dots of different sizes. Next, I'm going to try making a dot with the warm colors. So our warm colors are red, orange, and yellow. And if you want to remember the warm colors, I think of fire. The colors you would see in fire: warm, red, orange, and yellow. I'll go for another little dot here. So this is my warm colors. And you can try different color schemes today. You remember from last year, learning all about the primaries and the secondaries. So if I have warm colors, the next thing I will try out would be cool colors. Let me see, I'll show you the cool colors. They are the other 3, green, blue, and purple, the cool colors. I think I'm going to try paint for this one, so you can use different materials at home. Let me get a nice cool color there, and I think I'll do it down here. So blue. My next cool color could be green or purple. I'll go with purple. If you don't have purple paint in your pack, you can mix it. And to make purple, it is red and blue. I always find purple quite tricky to make. So next I'm going to add green, and I probably used a bit too much water here. That's why it's mixing together, but it looks quite nice. And like Vashti in the book, I'm just going to keep making art, even if I do make a little mistake. Sometimes the beauty is in the mistakes. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I feel like making that one bigger because I'm enjoying using the paint. I'm just going to wipe my brush. Always clean your brush between colors. I'm going to go back for more blue and do a pattern. Blue, purple, green. So I'll need a little bit more paint there, too much water. I'm going to make a nice big cool dot. And I quite like the way that the water's making the colour mix a little bit. It looks really pretty. So this is a cool dot, and it's making me feel cold with those cool colours. What's next? Some purple. And you see my circles are the same thickness, moving out from the centre. Concentric circles. A famous artist that does concentric circles is called Kandinsky. So you can Google that if you want and look up some of Kandinsky's circles. Now I'm going to move on to my favourite colour scheme, and if you've been in my classroom you'll know that my favourite colour scheme is rainbow. So I saved this great big space in the middle to make myself a beautiful rainbow dot. So rainbow order is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I love the colors of the rainbow. Okay, so red. And I'm getting that bleeding effect, as you can see. If you don't want that, you can just wait for the one in the middle to dry. Red, orange. That's the next color of the rainbow. Yellow. So I think this one's going to be a bigger dot. And if you want, you can do loads of primary dots, loads of secondary dots. You can just keep making dots for as long as you want, maybe even until your page is full. Next rainbow color is green. So these are just some ideas for color schemes. You can make up your own color scheme. Maybe you want to do a pattern like purple, pink, black, purple, pink, black. So you can experiment with other colors. You can also experiment with loads of different materials. So like me, you can have some with paint, some with pastel, some with marker. Even some people in year 4, they're doing a different project, but they're still making dots. They were using highlighters. Some people were even adding some glitter. So Vashti in the book got creative, so you can get creative too. Let me just add my blue. And sometimes you don't get orange paint. You can make orange with red and yellow like we did last year. Okay, and finally, the last color of my rainbow, purple. So I don't think I have enough left. I'm gonna have to mix some more purple. There we go, with red and blue. And you can see my rainbow dot is the biggest one. So I'm just showing you a few dots, but I would like it if you can fill your whole page with dots. And I did it quite fast, but if you could spend about 25 minutes or 30 minutes filling your page with loads of dots, it will build it up and up and up, and it'll look very beautiful, like Vashti's in the book. Now when you finish, can you please upload a picture to the homework folder in the VLE, and also store your artwork safely in the folder that we made last week in art, because we're going to bring all of our work into school and I'll be hanging it on the wall. So here are just a few examples: primary color dot, secondary color dot, warm colors, cool colors, and rainbow. But you can design your own. You can use patterns, you can use complementary colors, and you can fill your whole page with dots. So spend the rest of the lesson making loads of dots to celebrate International Dot Day. International Dot Day reminds us to just make a mark and see where it takes us.